talk to him about opponents and himself about opponents. We come up with game plans. Of course, JD's. But what was hard is because during a time in his career, he had Russ Amber and Mark Breland and JD's and Cuz Hill. So during that time, I respect all of those guys to the utmost, especially Mark Breland, because Mark paved the way, regardless of everything that's going on now. Mark paved the way for not just people like myself, a lot of young guys in boxing. Right. And the last thing I would ever want to do is step in a legend toes. You get what I'm trying to say? When it comes to this boxing thing. So what I would do is just like, I'm going to say this, right? I believe it just was all ordained. It was all ordained. Whatever it's meant to be, especially something as imperative as this job is going to be. That's what I'm saying. The best thing that happened to us was that loss. It was the best thing, and I knew this a week after the fight.
Those are the words of Malik Scott as he gives praise to the trainers ahead of him. We know Malik Scott is the head trainer of Deontay Wilder, and he really wanted to praise Mark Breland. He said, despite everything that's going on right now, Mark Breland, according to Malik Scott, paved the way of other fighters, other trainers, and made a foundation for them. Now, here's my question. There's with no doubt, I know Malik Scott has the utmost respect for Mark, and you can tell the way he explains certain things, how he explains it, what he leaves out, and what he doesn't. My question to Malik Scott is simple. Did you believe he would do something like the guy that you're training accused him of doing? Because, see, I can get and I can respect someone having their own mind, but then you can't pretend like you don't have an opinion about what someone else thinks. It's either, you could either believe it or you don't. And it's like, it's an easy question. No, I don't believe it, or yes, I do believe it. I think Deontay has a point. Or no, I don't think he has a point at all based on the character of Mark Breland. Okay, so that's one of the things that Malik is not explaining. Like, hey, maybe he said it in another interview or whatever, but like, I think certain things are not mentioned. I think people would rather not answer it, but it's like, what's wrong with answering it? Because if you answer it, what is it? You're afraid, or you have concern that you will say something contrary or opposite of what Deontay says. See, I like this whole interview, and I'm going to do a couple more videos on this interview. I liked it. I like Malik Scott. I like his passion for preparing Deontay Wilder, and I'm really thankful that Deontay Wilder has someone that will make, or people, not just Malik Scott. He has, other people in that camp that supposedly make him do things that he doesn't want to do. So that's the most important part. And if they can get him to listen and he can open up and they turn him into an absolute fucking beast, so be it. That would be the ideal thing. I thought a couple years ago, like, man, all the power Deontay Wilder has, imagine if he had boxing skill like Bob Foster boxing skill, would use those long arms. I mean, really use those long arms. He would be unstoppable. Okay, so, because he has the height, it's not a lot of people besides someone like Fury, maybe Joshua, that can deal with him because he's so tall. Shorter fighters will have problems getting in, especially if he knows how to use that jab and keep you at the end of those punches, because it won't be too long. Those punches will knock you out, especially if the right punch from the right angle hits you. So, again, no, this is just more of a question that I would have if I'm interviewing Malik Scott. Like, hey, do you think that? Do you think that he would do something like that? Like, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, accusations are accusations. If something that you blame and you accuse a person of, especially in that manner, man, that's criminal. For one, you're endangering that fighter for testing dirty. For two, you're altering that person's reflexes in a particular fight that his life is on the line. And for three, you're betraying somebody that's been around you for a long time based off your jealousy towards that person. And if Mark Breland did if he did that, that's exactly what is detailed. That's despicable about that. Okay. Those are the three things that you would look at and be like, damn, that's jacked up. And Mark Breland, all the above should happen to Mark Breland. But then me counterpunching Malik Scott. I don't see Malik Scott. Okay, I want people to listen to me and pay attention. I don't see Malik Scott talking that type of praise about Mark Breland and thinking he did something that foul. Okay, I just don't believe it. I don't believe that shit. You know what I mean? Because I feel this. If Malik Scott felt that Mark Breland did that, he wouldn't be praising him so hard. He wouldn't even be talking about him. I think Malik Scott would be like, that's a bad day at the office. That's in the past. We won't talk about that. He wouldn't even mention him. He brought him up to Fred, not the other way around. He brought him up. He gave praise to Mark Breland. So I think if you use your brain and you read between the lines, because Malik Scott, besides being a passionate trainer, he also has what my father says, a sweet tongue, a way with words. See, a lot of people have the gift of gab, like Eddie Hearn. I had a cousin, Emmett Stroud, God bless the dead. Those kind of guys like that, the third actually. Those kind of guys like that can say things and can talk you into things and have a way with words that'll make you, okay, did he just answer my question or he just made shit sound good with what it came out of his mouth? So I think at the end of the day, Malik Scott has that gift also. And if he has that, if his training ability is anything like his gift of gab and his sweet tongue, I think Deontay Wilder will be absolutely prepared and ready for battle October 9th. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Malik Scott praising Mark Breland for his accomplishments of the yesteryear. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.